Hello folks, this is Tiny Games Lab, and we're here to see a new tutorial about how to get a better game feel in your game. And this time I'm gonna see how to do some lights and light effects. So this is how the game looks like before we add anything to it. You can see it's very bland. And now we're gonna add some lights and light effects to it, so it looks a lot better. Okay, so we're gonna start by creating a new sprite. I'm gonna call it sprite light, and I'm gonna add this soft light shape that I have pre-built before this tutorial. Okay, and I'm gonna create a new object. I'm gonna call it object light. I'm gonna add this sprite light to it. Okay, I'm gonna set the depth to -999, so it's on top of everything. And on my create event, I'm gonna add some particles. So I'm gonna start by creating my particle system, which I'll call S_name. Okay, and I'm gonna set the automatic draw of this particle system to false. So part system automatic draw of S_name false. Perfect. Then I'm gonna create a particle type. So I'm gonna call it particle1. So particle1 type part type create. Perfect. I'm gonna add some shape to it. So that's part type shape. And part type shape of particle1 will be PT shape disk. So let's write this down, PT shape disk. Perfect. Then I want to set the size of the particles. I want them to be small particles, varying between 0.01 and 0.2 in size. There, 2 in size, perfect. And I don't want them to increase in size, but I want them to wiggle a little bit. So that's why I'm giving 0.01. Then the color, I'm going to set a solid color with part type color1. And I'm going to set the color to sea yellow because I want them to be yellowish. And I'm going to set the alpha with part type alpha 3. And I want to set this between 0 and 0.3 when the particle is alive. So it's going to start in 0, it's going to increase the alpha to 0.3 and then decrease back to 0. The speed, I'm gonna add part type speed function on particle 1. I want the speed to vary between 0.1 to 2. I don't want the speed to be increasing or anything, I just want it to be wiggling a little bit. And the part type direction, I'm gonna set the part type direction of particle 1. I believe I'll leave it just around all directions, so 0 to 359. And I'm gonna wiggle on 20. And the lifespan of my particle, part type life, it's gonna be between 60 and 200 frames. Okay, so now I have to add an emitter. So emitter 1 is equals to part emitter create on the S_name particle system. I want to add a region to it, so I'm going to use part emitter region. Okay, on my S_name particle system and my emitter 1. And I'm going to use a formula to do so. So my top left is going to be x, my other x is going to be x plus 600, which is the size of my image, my soft shadow, soft light, times cosine of my image angle, so degree to red image angle. And my y is going to be similar, so it's going to be y, and then y minus 600 times sine of degree to radian of my image angle. And with this, I'm gonna have, let me see, perfect. And I'm gonna want to stream this. So it's gonna be part emitter stream, S_name, emitter 1, particle 1, and I want to emit minus 10 particles per frame. So it's not minus 10, but it's gonna be a chance 1 in 10th of emitting a particle. And then on my draw event, I want to set my blend mode to additive, so it looks like a soft light. So draw set blend mode to BM add. I'm gonna draw my sprite, which is draw a sprite extension. So my sprite index with my image index, with my x and my y, scale 1,1, my image angle. And I'm doing this because I want to add the yellow color to it. So see yellow. And I don't wanna, yes, there we go, my alpha of 0.3. So everything looks nice, and if you want to change colors, you can just change the color here, and you're gonna change your soft light color. And I'm gonna draw my particle system also. And that's it. I'll just set my blend mode back to normal. BM normal, and that should do it. Okay, let's save it and, oh sorry, let's add the object to the room. Yeah, there we go. And I can rotate in the room editor and everything should work because everything uses the image angle to set up my light. So let's save it and let's try it. Okay, you can see I have this soft light in my game, and you can see these small little particles like butterflies or light effects. They're just moving around the screen. They have random direction, random speed, random size, they wiggle a little bit, so that gives a nice effect to the game. If you guys like this video, please stay tuned and subscribe to my channel to see the next videos. Okay, see you next.